the great Dr. Georgina Cannon. Put your hands together. Morning, Doctor.
Great band.
Great band.
Fabulous.
So you're not only a doctor, and you're very articulate in speaking. You seem like a kind person, because me and Lou, we've been arguing for 30 years. So you tried to put that out, which will never work. But you're a writer, you DVDs, and
yes.
we'll get to that. Got a couple of books out, but behavior.
Yes.
Is your forte.
Behavior is the forte, because behavior makes us who we are. You know, we can talk a lot, we can pretend a lot, we can visualize a lot, but what we do is really who we are.
But doctor, you got to admit, because you're a very bright lady.
Call me Georgina, please.
Georgina. I like saying doctor. Doc. It hurts me when I come.
I won't ask you to bend over, okay?
I'm happy because I'm going for my physical, and every time I go for my physical, I make the doctor put his hands out. I'm not staying here. Anyways, all of us, everybody, we put on an act during the day. You know, you have to. It's tough to survive. It's tough to deal with what you deal with, whatever job. And then when you go home, hopefully you get an opportunity to be yourself, to put on the track pants or your pajamas or...
But that's just the outside. That's the clothing. What about the real person? You have to be the real person all the time, otherwise you can't be happy.
But how can you be the real person all the time? Everybody files off the idiosyncrasies and their...
Okay, but we're more than we seem. We're all everything. I think everybody is good and bad and smart and stupid. I think everybody has some good sides and some not so good sides.
So you think everybody has those? Isn't there people who are just stupid?
Even Hitler loved his dog and his mistress. So even the worst
even
person,
the most evil man in the world
has a little bit of something. And I believe that we choose the piece we're going to use every day, and that makes us who we are.
Okay, that makes sense. I'll buy that.
Okay.
But it's tough with the peer pressure and all the stress that goes on with being a human being nowadays to be a good person, right? To be even-keeled, to be able to use a thermostat where you're at 71 or at 73 degrees at all times.
Even-keeled is different than being a good person. I think you can be a good person, doesn't matter where you are. I mean, there's stories of people in Auschwitz or the camps or any prison. Some people are good and some people are not good. Some people take everything from everybody and some people just give and share. I think you're either good or you're not.
Really?
But you can change.
Is that genetic? Do you think that people can actually change?
I think it's learned behavior.
So the old adage, the old cliche, a snake sheds its skin but not its habits, does not apply to humans?
We're not snakes. We fortunately have a conscience.
It's an analogy. You think everybody's got a conscience, every single person?
Yes, I do.
But we're emotional animals, right?
Yes.
And that's what screws us up, right? The emotion. Like we talked about earlier.
But you can learn to manage your emotion. Go ahead. Yeah?
I was just saying, when we were discussing things earlier, you were saying that no matter what kind of a intellect you were, what kind of a scholar you were, when emotion jumps in, emotion just cancels out that intellect because it takes over. It's the most powerful feeling in the body, right?
But if you know that about yourself, then you learn to feel that emotion, take a step back, and handle it. So, which is why when people really lose their temper or really fall in love, they do really stupid things. Either way. So when you think about it, if you really are angry and you smash everything around you, you're being 5 or 6 years old. Because 5 or 6 years old is when you don't have the intellect developed.
Or the control. The
control and the understanding. You go into yourself, you say, boy, do I feel angry, I feel furious. Take a breath. What am I going to do about it? How am I going to manage it? What am I going to say? So the intellect, the adult part of you comes in and you manage it.
So do you get along with yourself, doctor? Have you mastered the relationship between you and you?
It took a while, but that's the only way to go.
But when did you finally get along with yourself? Was it in your teens? Or
No. Teens are difficult. Teens are very difficult. I was probably in my early 30s.
That's when you got to know each other.
Then, that's right, and I said, you know what? I'm okay. Even the bad things are not so bad. Even, and I can do something about that. And that's what I help people do. I really help people find their magnificence. And when you work with couples, which I do a lot, whether it be partners or life partners or bosses and employees, you get them to understand expectations of each other, but first of all, what they need, what they want, and what they can give. So you own your piece first. Once you own your piece, then you can start looking out at others and saying, okay, what do they bring to this? That's about relationships.
But in a relationship, doctor, isn't it, there's always somebody who's more dominant, right?
Sometimes, and it can change. So some people can be more dominant in some situations and some in others. Some people may have more financial sense and the other person gives in to their expertise.
But they have to give in. They have to be
but then the other way around.
Submissive in some way. You got to let, if both people are dominant, right? The relation's not going to work. They're going to both.
You're using very extreme words.
Okay, so what word should I be using, doctor?
Cooperative.
Cooperative.
Partnership. Listening. You know more about it than I do. Go ahead. You're the boss here. I do this piece. You do this piece. But sometimes we just both do it together.
Why is there so many breakups, so many divorces? Why are
because people don't know themselves. Part of the relationship issue with any relationship is to decide what it is you want and what you need. Two separate things. And what you're prepared to give. And most people have no idea. They go through life having relationships saying, I want this, I want this, I want this. And nobody says to them, but what are you prepared to give to this? To make this whole relationship, which is separate. What are you prepared, in fact, that's my next book that I'm writing right now. What are you prepared to do to that third circle to make it whole? Because the relationship circle is what we have. So you put something into it, I put something into it, that's fine, but what about this? What do we need to keep it healthy?
But isn't intimate, I mean, we're in all kinds of relationships. You have relationships at work, you have relationships with friendship, but a personal relationship where somebody you share a bed with, share a house with. Isn't it all about passion? Without the passion, everything goes out the window, the tolerance. Respect? But when you have passion, then you have respect because you want the passion, and it's the passion that leads to...
Sometimes passion can lead to violence if you don't have respect.
But that'll dissipate the passion really fast. I believe that the catalyst for the relationship to last is the passion. It's like food don't taste good, you ain't gonna eat it anymore. Whatever way you guys want to take it. I'm sorry, Doc. I made you lose your train of thought.
Love it, love it. Okay.
Discovering Internal Life, Dr. Georgina Cannon. Where can you get this book?
The Inner Life. You can get it online from my website. Amazon has stopped selling it now. I've taken it off Amazon because I'm sold my new book. So I'm taking it off Amazon, and you'd have to go onto my website.
So this is a book that really deals with you dealing with yourself.
Yes, yes. And your past life self, your soul self.
If you believe in that.
If you believe in that.
Okay. And then you have another one called...
Return.
Return.
Now, this was written because of the CBC show that I did on past lives, and that was done 4 years ago. So this book was written as a result of that, from all the stories that came out of that.
So you believe that we all had a past life?
Yes.
More than one?
Yes.
Okay.
I hope so.
And you have many, many DVDs, right? So
CDs. They're all about
CDs.
Habit change again. They're all
so
about
you play these while you're sleeping or while you're just relaxing?
Relaxing, not in the car.
What about this one, sleep?
That helps you sleep or stay asleep. Some people can't get to sleep, and some people can get to sleep and then wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning.
Well, I'm going to use this one because I can't sleep.
You can't sleep?
No, I'm a 3-hour, 4-hour, and that's a miracle. So I'm going to try this one here.
But you know, Winston Churchill only slept 3 hours too, and look how brilliant he was.
Oh, I am brilliant.
There you go.
We're going to take a short break. We've been talking to Dr. Georgina Cannon, very interesting lady. We're going to have her back because I could talk to her for hours on getting to know yourself, on relationships, on being in control of yourself as a human being, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Give it up for Dr. Georgina.